the girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
This will turn out to be Combustion Gate if I have my way. These are 2011 and 2014 vehicles. That's 7, 8, 9, and 10-year-old vehicles. No, it's 4-year-old to 7-year-old. But that's 7 years that car's been on the road. And all of a sudden now we're hearing about these things that it covers almost all their models. They just spontaneously combust. They don't have to be driving. They don't have to be crashed. They don't have to crash. They could just blow up. Turn into, well, not blow up, but catch fire. Well, we talked about this last week, but now it's getting big. The Center for Automotive Safety has declared these recalls not comprehensive enough. And now the United States Congress is asking for answers. This is getting big. A lot of people, it seems, have filed reports and made complaints about cars that just spontaneously combust. Welcome to Combustion Gate, boys and girls. Seems these fires just erupt while driving down the road or sitting still, doesn't matter. You got to stay tuned on this one, guys. You smell another Auto World cover-up? Because in the 10 years that I've been, or 12 years I've been doing this show, I've seen plenty. Plenty. You remember the Lexus and Toyota that were self-driving? I mean, not self-driving, but they self-accelerating. They just all of a sudden took off. And everybody said, first they said you got to move the floor mat, the gas pedal stuck. Wrong. Then they said there was this little clip they had to fix. Wrong. But once you got it in there, they reprogrammed your computer. It was a glitch. It was a computer glitch. I'm sure it was. And they don't want to admit it. That's all right, fine. But it took how long and how many people that got in serious accidents or lost cars or maybe even lost their life before these guys came clean. They didn't want to come clean. Then there was Ignition Gate, General Motors. You're talking 10, 12 years of bad ignition switches falling out. There's literally no way of knowing how many people they killed. No way. Takata airbag. Takata airbag is 13 years of lies. Absolute lies. And you know what's worse? The automotive makers, the manufacturers knew about those Takata airbags. And they kept putting them in. So maybe the price was right. I don't know. And I know every one of them is not loaded with too much ammonium nitrate, but guess what? Some of them are. And some of them explode, and they have killed people, they have maimed people, they have paralyzed people. Unbelievable. We've been through so much together, all of us. Marcioni dragging his feet on recalling the Jeeps that if all you had to do was get back into a fire hydrant and the thing caught on fire, it just poof, big fire. I got to tell you, all these things, they reek of a cover-up. Heads rolled at the NHTSA. Everything got redone. They brought in a temporary guy to beat it up and make it right. Then they brought in a gal to run it. And now things are different. But now all of a sudden, here comes Kia and Hyundai with 7-year-old vehicles. Okay? 4, 6, 5, 6, and 7-year-old vehicles. How many miles? 7 years? How many miles you put on 7 years? You got lucky because your car didn't go up in flames. I'm telling you, do you smell a cover-up? Because I do. And I'm not going to let this one go. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch the congressional hearings on it because there's places on the internet where you can get that stuff. And I'm going to watch and see what goes with this thing because guess what? I think we've been lied to again, guys. I think we've been, my dad used to call it hornswoggled. We've been hornswoggled. Well, there's a word for you, T-Rex. 928 Car Guys, if you want to weigh in on this. That's our number. And it's I tell you what, that this whole thing, Kia and Hyundai, that's one of the top selling cars right now. They're big. They're huge in America. Everybody likes them because they're fairly cheap and they're pretty well built. Except for the fire thing, of course. Fire? And T-Rex likes fire. He just kills me with his matches. All right, in case you're interested, I think this is a great stat. Having never been a slave to the weed myself, but I'm a child of the 60s. Who didn't try it? In case you're interested, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has determined that in states that have legalized marijuana, they now lead the league in crashes by up to 6%. So there's 6% higher in crashes. But you know what, man? Nobody cares, dude. The research data was assisted by the Highway Loss Data Institute. So, like, totally, man. I think we crashed. I just see Cheech and Chong up on that thing in the middle of the highway, the divider, driving nowhere. I just get a kick out of that stuff. Or when they ask, "Where's your license? Where's your license?" He goes, "On the back of the car, man." Oh, so anyway, 6% higher than all the other states when they have legal marijuana. More crashes. I'm not saying it's due to pot, but what do you think? Come on. All right, Tesla is dropping their self-driving option. I told you. We talked about this a long time ago. The, what do they call it? Autopilot, the infamous autopilot. After having disabled it for almost 2 years, they have disabled their autopilot on all their cars that they sold previously. They just, over the internet, they, turned it off because it didn't work right. Autopilot got several, oh my God, one guy ended up in his bedroom going through the garage door, garage wall. Well, Tesla owners were paying for this autopilot, but were unable to activate the infamous autopilot. An $8,000 option on your Tesla. It's $8,000 more if you want the autopilot. But guess what? You can't use it. You bought an autopilot, but it's no good. You can't use it. And the car's owners have filed a class action lawsuit. Absolutely they have. I mean, you have an $8,000 option on your car that you can't use? Will you give me a break? Whoo! 928 Car Guys if you want to weigh in on that one. I think that's just amazing. Volvo bought a stake in the California electric vehicle charging firm FreeWire. Luminar is an autonomous vehicle company. Okay, first thing Volvo did 4 months ago is they bought stock in Luminar, or they joined up with Luminar. That's the autonomous vehicle company. Now they bought a stake in California charging firm FreeWire. You think Volvo's getting ready to charge it up? I think so. Well, we got a little problem here with the Cruze. The self-driving Chevy Cruze that was so touted by Chevrolet and GM. And, oh, my God, this is going to be the car. This is the car of the future, the electric car. They built it up so much that Honda bought put 2.575 billion into the Cruze. They took the money on a 12-year loan, and they're going to have 2.7 billion invested in this Cruze, the self-driving electric Chevy Cruze. This was going to be the car to end all cars. Well, they were going to launch them at 2019. They were going to be out there, autonomous driving Chevy Cruzes, and guess what? They're not going to make it. The reason they're not going to make it is probably the biggest reason. I'm not wild about self-driving right now because the bugs are not out of it. The Chevy Cruze software for autonomous driving has a problem recognizing pedestrians. Okay? Now, we all know about that one crash where the woman was walked off the curb. I mean, clearly she was wrong. She was in the middle of the block and she was going to cross the street, but the car was not being driven. It was being driven by a computer. And it was supposed to be able to detect that and swerve around her or stop. Guess what? It didn't. She's dead. So, Honda was banking on this Chevy Cruze. Chevy really sold it. They sold it to the American people. They sold it to other car companies. This Cruze is going to be the first autonomous car on the block. Well, they may not hit that 2019 target. As a matter of fact, I doubt that they will. Okay? Simply because their car can't recognize pedestrians. That's the number one thing. The self-braking, the self-stopping, the crash avoidance. There's all kinds of stuff you got to do, but you got to watch out for the pedestrians, okay? Your car has to, if you're going to let your computer drive the car, it better darn well know where people are walking and where they're not, okay? That's a number one. That goes without saying. Well, this just in, and the boys printed this for me over the last break. This is hot off the presses. Just this afternoon, 6:40 Eastern. That was, wow, that would be 5:40 whatever this time. In separate interviews, the Kia and Hyundai have said they plan to cooperate. They pledge cooperation with the U.S. over these fires. They're going to talk to Congress. Han Woo Park is the CEO of Kia Motors, and he has said that Kia will comply. Wan Hee Lee, he is the CEO of Hyundai, and he says, we will comply. The problem, you guys, and I'm sorry, but these guys, they knew about this. I'm telling you. This is just like the Volkswagen diesels and the Takata airbags. How do you go 7 years with a vehicle and not know and not hear about or have complaints about spontaneous combustion? This is why Congress is investigating them. You don't bring the feds in unless there's some meat to the subject. And these guys know they got them. I'm telling you right now, Congress knows they got these guys. And you're going to see more fines. You might even see more people go to jail. Like Volkswagen and Stinkygate. There's still people going to jail over that. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Guess what? It's a whole new ball game now. Everybody's watching. The government's watching. You can't hide a defect. You got to fix it right now. You can't hide the defect.